you considering a move to Olympia and wondering which neighborhoods are the best? Then you are going to want to stick around because we're going to explore the top 8 best areas to live in Olympia.
We're Joe and Charity. We're local real estate agents, and we help people just like you make informed decisions when you're considering moving into our area. And we made it easy for you to connect with us. You could either call us or text us on the number below.
All the information that we're going to share with you today can be found on public websites. We are not allowed to steer you in any direction, but we are allowed to tell you all the great things that are in our city. So are you ready? Let's go.
We are going to start with the Upper East Side.
So the Upper East Side is located, as it says, Upper East of downtown. And so it's a great walkable area, and it's also one of Joe's favorite bakeries.
One of my favorites, San Francisco Street Bakery. So if you're going to get home in the area, make sure you can walk to that place because you're going to thank me for it, especially if you like bagels and sourdough. And
so that is definitely one of the pros. It's very walkable, not just to the bakery, but also to downtown. And that's one of the reasons that people love living there. So what would you say distinguishes Upper East Side?
There is nothing cookie cutter about the Upper East Side. There is a wide variety of houses, paint color styles. There's no HOAs. It is really a unique, eclectic blend of homes. And if that's your jam, you found it.
And that can also be a con. If you like the very neatly pressed areas that are like HOA neighborhoods, then you may not want to live there because there might be people that don't regularly landscape their yard, or they may have a purple house with pink trim or something like that. So, you know.
It's eclectic. It's really cool. If that's what you're into, that is a wonderful, wonderful area.
Let's talk about price point in that area. So you're going to be about $450,000 to about $700,000. That area has older homes and they're all pretty small. So price per square foot could seem high compared to other areas, but it is very desirable, especially for that walkability factor. So if that sounds important to you, that's probably going to be the area you want to live in.
The next place we're going to jump in and talk about is the Capital District. And just like it sounds, it is around the state capitol.
So one of the reasons why people love that area is also because it has older homes. That's the area that has more classically styled homes, and they're a little bit larger.
They're a little bit bigger, especially compared to the Upper East Side. It's going to be bigger homes for sure. It's walkability is there the same. You could get to downtown really quickly, as well as just kind of walk around the beautiful neighborhood, walk around the state capitol. A lot of people, you'll find that just because it's a beautiful setting, overlooking the water. It's really stunning.
In fact, here's a little insider tip. The grounds at the Capitol were actually designed by the same person that designed Central Park in New York. So it is a very beautiful place to walk around.
The price of the homes in this area, because they're larger, have a propensity to be a little bit more expensive. Some of them you will find there are some smaller homes in the area, but for the vast majority, you're going to be looking at $500,000 up to $1 million, depending on the area.
And so one of the cons is that you may have some remodeling that needs to be done. There's a lot of homes in there that have had work done, but there's a lot that haven't. So I guess it could be a pro or con if you want to do some remodeling.
Yeah.
Another great area that we really love in Olympia is the Boston Harbor area. Now, it sounds like we're over on the East Coast, but we're not.
It is kind of the most northern part of the Olympia area, and this is known for some really wonderful big homes on some land, really gorgeous. It's kind of an eclectic blend, but you're going to see some just fantastic views. And also there's a marina down there that has a lot of really great ice cream, if that's your thing. The marina's got that, and a lot of summer events that you'll find down there as well.
Yeah, the 4th of July fireworks happen down there. In fact, there's not one out over the Olympia waterfront area, but there is in the Boston Harbor area, which is great. And what's really fun about this area is you're kind of driving through a rural area and then it just pops. There's this the enclave of houses. Most of them have a view of the water, and people just really get to know each other. In fact, one of my clients bought a house there, and she was invited to join the Sewer Sisters Society, which who knew that there was a Sewer Sisters Society? And I asked her what that was, and she said it's a group of ladies that get together and keep the grounds manicured around the community septic area. So that is something you could look forward to if you decided to move there. But in all honesty, it is one of the most desirable places to live in the area.
The price point's going to be kind of at the low range, around $700,000. You're not going to find a lot for that, and probably one of our most expensive properties of over $3 million was in that area as well.
Yeah, if you're wanting to live in that area, then you might be also waiting a bit because there's not very many houses in the area, so you're gonna have to wait a little bit. but once you get out there, you're gonna love it.
The next area we want to talk about are the neighborhoods that surround Olympia High School. And we say around Olympia High School because this is actually going to affect the pricing of your home. Olympia High School is a desirable high school in the area, and because of that, homes in its school district have a propensity to be just a little bit higher than the average surrounding communities. It is a fantastic community. It has a lot of mid-century modern type of architecture, not a lot of cookie cutter, although you will find some new home construction in the area.
Right, and some of these areas right around Olympia High School have some great walkability spots. We've got Vic's Pizza, and right there, right with Vic's Pizza, we got Olympia Coffee Roasters, and we got Spuds.
Yeah, and you'll find just in general throughout this area, people walking pretty close to all parts of the day. You'll be people out there doing morning walks, cycling around, afternoon walks, lots. It's very pet friendly. You'll see people walking their dogs throughout the area, all parts of the day, which is really delightful. A lot of fun.
And obviously, as Joe mentioned, one of the biggest pros is that you are close to one of the top schools in the area, and people really want to get into this area. In fact, some houses recently sold in our neighborhood, because we live in this area, for $40,000 above list price in a market that wasn't even that hot. So this is definitely a spot that if you want to be somewhere where everything's happening right around the high school, then this might be a spot for you.
The prices of the homes are going to probably be on the bottom end, around $600,000, and they will go over $1 million depending on which neighborhood that you're in.
And with those $600,000 homes, you may have an older home, like Joe mentioned, that you would need to remodel. So just keep that in mind. But you can find one that has been completely remodeled or a newer house that's in the upper price point. All right, next we're going to talk about West Olympia. West Olympia is actually a large part of Olympia, but we're going to talk about the part that's just still kind of hugs the water on the west side.
Yeah, kind of close in proximity to downtown and has walkability to it as well. People enjoy that live in that community for sure.
Definitely going to have homes similar to the Upper East Side, where you've got the smaller, quirkier style living, but you also have some larger mid-century modern homes, a lot of water view houses on that side. So you have a lot of options in the area.
Absolutely. You'll find some older homes that are quite large in that area as well.
People like living in this area because it's an area that they can still walk to downtown. There's great access to the water there. You've got West Olympia Park. It's right down on the water. You can put your kayaks in there, and Garfield Nature Trail is there as well. And because you are on the west side already, then you are closer to the mall as well. So there's a lot of conveniences that go into that side.
The great part about this neighborhood is you can still find homes in that 450 range. And of course, it's going to go up over $1 million if you get down on the water with water views and such. But you do have some good options in this area, depending on your price point.
Cooper Point is the next area that we want to talk about. It is also on the west side. It's actually a road called Cooper Point Road, and it has a bunch of neighborhoods just clustered off the side of it. And this area of Olympia is very treed. A lot of areas of Olympia are very treed, green. But there's a lot of green, lots of very tall evergreen trees in that area, and lots of classic home neighborhoods, as well as there are a lot more options for newer construction on that side also.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you're going to find over in that area is kind of interesting is Evergreen State College. And did they name that correct? I mean, we're Evergreen State anyways, but for some reason, it just feels more lush over there. And I'm not sure why, and it might just be my opinion, but it is really beautiful. And you're going to love that if that's the area of town that you choose to live in.
Yep, a lot of people go walking over there. And one of the other cool things about this area is it goes out onto a point, hence Cooper Point. So there's a lot of waterfront properties out there, a lot of properties with a lot of acreage. And then there's a lot of neighborhoods that have their own private beach. So you can get into a neighborhood. I have one on the market right now where you have your own private beach with just your neighbors. So pretty cool spot.
The price point in this area is going to start around $600,000 and going to go well over $1 million, especially if you get something on the water, like any of the water spots. Really beautiful homes. Some of them are going to be neighborhoods. Some are going to be in a little bit more land. You will find some larger lots in this area if that's important to you. Also, if you're into golfing, the Golf and Country Club is over there. So
and there are some amazing houses. There is a golf course here, water here, houses right here. So you have the golf course behind you and you have the waterfront in front of you. I've been in some of the most stunning homes right in that neighborhood.
So if you're thinking to yourself, I want a little bit more rural setting, well, we've got the place for you. It's called Delphi.
Yeah, this area is also West Olympia, but it's west-south. And if you look on a map, it just looks green. It's just all green space.
It really is a lot of green space. Black Lake is in there, which is a big lake that people enjoy water sports on.
And Delphi Golf Course is there. And you also are very close to Capitol Forest. So you've got land, you've got trees, you've got activities that are outdoors. So if you want somewhere to spread out, then this is the place for you.
The price points of this are going to range from $450,000 to over $1 million, depending on the neighborhood that you're in or the size of property that you're choosing to buy. But it is a lot of great outdoor recreational areas if that's what you're into. The last area we're going to touch on is Steamboat Island. Now, Steamboat Island is west of West Olympia, and it has some larger properties that go along with it, some acreage. It have view homes and homes on the water. It's a really beautiful area.
So Steamboat Island actually is a teeny tiny island at the very point. I don't know how many houses are on it, maybe 20 or 25, but there's also a neighborhood right before you go over the little bridge called Carlion Beach, and there they have a really big beach and park and everything that's just for the neighbors. And you have very affordable houses on the interior of that neighborhood, probably around 400,000. And then you have very expensive homes that are right on the water up in the upper millions. So besides the properties that are right out on the point, the whole area is called Steamboat Island because you are driving on Steamboat Island Road the entire time. There's some great properties to be found. And one of the highlights of the area is the Griffin School District. It's actually part of Olympia School District, and the kids will go to Capitol High School, which is in Olympia School District, but they have their own elementary and middle school, and they have very small student-teacher ratios. So people really want to be in that school district because it's so highly rated.
And overall, the prices of homes in the area are around $600,000 to well over $1 million if you're on the water.
So obviously, there's a lot of great places to live in Olympia, and if you want to know more, or if you're thinking about moving to the area, we'd love to help you. We've made it easy for you to connect to us. Just give us a call or text us on the number you see there on your screen, and don't forget to keep watching our next video.